Welcome to Omen Exitio Plague. I'm your host, City. Last time, our boat got stuck on an island. So our boat sank because we were attacked by the cold. Now on an island, and he promised our villagers deal with the cold. So before we begin, want to see more of this kind of content, or just to stay up to date, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell button. Alright, well, let's begin. Cult's camp. Best place to start your investigation. Know your enemy. Restart, think about how to knock them down. There must be someone willing to help you. Convincing the villagers to follow you may not be completely useless. The cult's cave could contain some clues about their goals. Better take a look. Let's do the camp. Yeah, we should know our enemy. I think that makes the most sense. You are walking around the huts, watching the villagers and their activities. You are a stranger amongst these people, but at the same time you feel no negativity, discomfort, or hostility from them. Despite not being one of them, they do not seem to be scared of you. Rather, they treat you as an honored guest. Probably because they hope I can help them against the cult. I will need to have a clear picture of the layout of the cult's camp. You're explaining to Aida that in order to rescue Fuego, and maybe the other villagers who were captured before your arrival, you will need more information about the enemy camp. Tonight, when twilight arrives, you see Aida heading away from the village, giving you the briefest of meaningful glances, telling you to follow. Again, you walk for what seems like an eternity, but eventually she motions you to slow the pace. You understand that you are near. You are on a small rocky outcrop, hidden by trees. At the base of the rocks, you can see the camp. It seems to be mostly tents, although there were some huts made from wood and corrugated iron. They look to have been built only recently. There they are. You scan the camp with close attention, but so far you see no sign of the cult. It looks just like a normal military outpost. I wonder if you have not been in too much of a hurry to connect them to the London cult. Observation. Not good enough. Increase it. 6 experience points. It seems like experience points, but obviously they're really necessary. The more I get, the better. You see various men sitting around a fire in the center of the camp, eating a meal. Others are moving around the camp. Even from a distance, you can tell that most of them are white Europeans, as you already saw in the village. It must be hot near the fire, and many of them are bare-chested. By the dim light from the fire, you can see a dark shape on the wrists, but you don't need to get any closer to know that is the cult's eye tattoo. When they have finished eating, instead of extinguishing the fire, some of the men bring more wood and start to build up the fire, increasing its diameter and intensity. After a few minutes, 2 men come out of one of the huts, carrying a dead body. As they approach the pyre, you are able to get a better look at the body. It's one of the villagers. The body is covered in pock marks And despite the fact that you cannot be sure from this distance, you suspect that they are the familiar marks of the disease. They throw the corpse onto the fire. Aida turns her head away. Her hands close in fists, shaking with horror and rage. I can imagine. They're literally killing the villagers with the disease, then burning their bodies. Aida struggles to contain her pain and anger, and you can see straight through seemingly calm exterior. For now, you decide it is better not to say anything, and you turn back into the forest. Silence. Was that useful for your plan? You nod. Now that you know exactly where the prisoners are kept, you can start formulating a plan to rescue them. Okay. Cave or help? Let's try and get help first. The sun is already high in the sky when you finally leave your bed and walk out of the hut where you had been sleeping. The village is a hive of activity. Many of the fishermen's dugouts are already at sea. Others are intent on finishing their careful preparations for heading out. The women are busy with various activities. Some tend to crops on the edge of the village, while others are looking after the children. It seems like any other perfectly ordinary day. As if Fuego's kidnap, or those from before, it never happened at all. Wait, work's still gotta be done. Gotta be done somehow. Ada comes up, bring you some fruit for breakfast. Have you had any ideas? We should organize a raid on the cult's camp. Ada notes your hesitation, but you don't think it is possible. You explain to her that this is not the case, but that you would have a much better chance of success if it were not just you two. Seek allies. Allies are useful. They are strong and determined, and when they decide to do something, they stop at nothing. Oh yeah, and he told her to tell me about the villagers. Didn't read that part. However, unfortunately, as I already told you, they are very superstitious. They won't even consider attacking people who they believe are capable of magic. Tell me about the cult's defenses. They have weapons, terrible weapons, that can strike from a great distance, and with more force than arrows. That is all I know. Sounds like rifle. Probably is rifles. Or machine guns. Or both. Or artillery. Probably not, though. We will have to make an attempt. What attempt? You notice Ada's tone of voice when speaking about the villagers, and you decide that maybe some of them could be convinced to help you. When you tell her this, and that is your best hope, she nods in agreement. There are perhaps 3 of the men that we could convince. Amana is the chief. He's very close to his son. With her eye, she indicates his hut. He has not left the hut since his boy was kidnapped. Tahitoa is strong and powerful, not easily scared. Minarai is very agile and headstrong. I think he suppresses his anger for them. I don't know if Minari's a good idea. Gonna be either Amana or Tahitoa. Well, I look at it like this. The chief would be a great symbol, and might get more helpers. Anarai, I mean, his agility's good, but I feel like him suppressing his anger could backfire on us. Like, what if he loses his cool? Toyota's good because he's strong and powerful, and he's not weak-willed. But, to do the chief, well, like I said. However, there's a chance whoever we recruit could die. We don't want the chief to die. So, given that risk, I think Taitoa sounds like the best option. Let's do it. Aida shows you which hut is Taitoa's. He has not yet left a hut to go fishing. Recently, however, Taitoa has not been fishing much at all because he's been looking after his brother, Hinata. His brother is bedridden because of a fishing accident. As soon as you enter the hut, you are reprimanded by Taitoa. What are you doing? Can't you see the sick person here? Get out! Medicine, medicine, medicine. I can do it. That's good. Good. When you approach Hinata, Protector Brother starts to protest, but Aida stops him and calms him down. Examining the abrasion, you can see it is not very serious, but also that it's not been cleaned at all. You patiently explained you have to treat the wound, and that although it would be painful, it'll then heal more quickly. Taitoa watching you treating his brother, and he seems impressed. You clean and dress the wound with great care. You may have a light fever over the next few hours, but in a day or two, you will be fine. You look over Taitoa, smiling happily. While you were treating his brother, Aida told you about your plan. Told him about your plan. You helped Hinata. I am with you. There's achievement unlocked. Like an achievement? No. But it's just an in-game one. Weird, so far, they've all been Steam achievements. But yeah, I think we made the right choice. Good, we're getting experience built up. Because, just in case. See, we need to get observation, medicine, and agility up a level. Because if not, soon then we won't be able to win with them. Like, oh wait, achievement, it's here. The warriors help. Recruit Taitoa. But yeah, I mean, right now, level 5 is the minimum to success. That means pretty soon, it'll be level 6. We better do something about that. You know, Hinata, I'm with you. Oh, we can get more. D. Let's get Minarai. You follow Aida to a dugout, and you paddle together to Minarai's usual fishing spot. You reach him quickly and glide right next to his canoe. At first, he seems to be ignoring your presence, then he barks at you. You are frightening the fish. Find your own spot. He does not seem to be too happy to see you. Minarai is ill-tempered, seems irritated by your presence, decide to give up on him. Evaluate him as a potential ally. Got observation, right? Yeah, we're good. Watch. You watch him fishing, wondering whether he'll help you on this rescue mission. Something about his concentration and bearing gives you the impression that he is indeed a brave man, but also deeply melancholic. You detect even a hint of guilt in his unblinking eyes. We are going to rescue Fuego, and all of those have been taken by the masked men. All of them. The man raises his head and fixes you with his large, bright eyes. Hey, Fisherman's Help! Achievement unlocked. That is a brave plan. I will help. So basically, as long as we get a skill check needed, we get to recruit these guys. Nice. And now, 70 experience. That's good, good, good. And now the chief. He looks a little older. You go up to Amana's hut, knock, and enter. Find the chief sitting in silence on a mat in the center of his hut. His thoughts are seemingly miles away. You were silent for a moment, considering your words, but he speaks before you. You must forgive my manners, but mourning fathers can forget the most basic courtesies towards both guests and their own companions. Why? What is renouns? Mention Fuego, persuade, skill checks, recruit. The recruitment drive numbers are record levels. I can understand your pain, Amana, but you are a strong and wise man, and you should not be mourning yet. I know the cult. They have no magical powers. However, I know too the danger their boy Fuego faces, and I have no intention of leaving him in their hands. I'm going to rescue him. You pause for a few moments, and then turn to leave the hut. You have only taken a couple steps when you hear Amana's voice. You will not go alone. Tell me your plan, and I will come with you. Wow. 94 experience. Good, good, good. When you return to your hut, after having spoken to the three men suggested by Aida, the sun is falling fast towards the horizon over the great expanse of the ocean. I was afraid that no one would come with us, Jake. There is hope, however. Fear has not completely taken over this village. Despite the great risk you face, you are reassured by the fact you have allies from the village. There will be 5 of you involved in this rescue attempt. Nonetheless, you will have to plan the attack so as not to be seen. Surprise will clearly be an important element of your raid. Nice. Breaking up all that XP. Soon we'll be level 8 in everything. And then we'll be able to beat all the skill checks. And no other characters will die because I failed skill check. Because we're at 2 already. Anyway, rays of sunlight filter down through the jungle vegetation, warming your skin. You have been walking with Aida for quite some time, when eventually she turns to you and gestures for you to be silent and move more slowly. You are approaching the cave where the cult conducts its rituals. The thick jungle opens onto a small beach, and the seagulls are as loud as ever. They walk up here to line. You approach the entrance to the cave carefully, making sure that there's no one around or inside. Then you light a torch and go inside. I think they come here for this. As you are moving deeper into the cave, Aida holds the torch near the cave walls, illuminating strange and alarming pictograms. These drawings were here long before they came to this island. They have been here since ancient times. Symbols on the walls are heavily stylized, a bizarre hybrid of rock painting and Egyptian hieroglyphs, or hieroglyphics. You make what seem to be people worshipping others who seem to be suffering. All around these figures are unspeakable and terrible creatures. Dark horrors with such bizarre shapes that they seem to change as you look at them. At various points, you recognize the now familiar eye symbol. You reach the end of the cave, which opens to a large space with a natural rock dome. The drawings all lead to the far end, where you see a much larger picture. It looks like an altar encircled by men, wearing what you recognize as a stylization of the cult masks and kilts. In the center, there is something which emerges from what looks like a well. It is a mass of black. You manage to distinguish something, perhaps an eye, the center of the mass. And there are protrusions, like black tentacles, reaching up to the sky towards what looks like the representation of a comet. Then you notice another detail. Caught up in the tentacles, there's a human figure, screaming, his face horribly contorted in pain. In addition to the pictographs, there are descriptions written in strange and incomprehensible alphabet, of which it is hard to understand what exactly constitutes a letter or a word. No one really understands that language.